So my guess is, if you're on this video, you've been trying to keep cherry shrimp in the past, or you've been trying to keep cherry shrimp like right now, and you've been having them die off, and you're looking for a couple of the reasons why they've been dying. So you've come to the right place, because in this video I'm going to cover a bunch of different reasons why cherry shrimp die in aquariums, and I'm going to give you a bunch of useful tips on how to prevent them from dying in the future, and maybe some reasons why you shouldn't keep cherry shrimp. So make sure you stay around to the end of the video to listen to everything I'm going to say. So the first reason why your cherry shrimp might be dying is something that is pretty obvious and you might not even have thought of, and that's because they were either already sick when you got them, or you stressed them out when you added them to the aquarium. So this is a tip that I've talked about in a previous video, and it's pretty much acclimating the shrimp is very, very important because they are so sensitive. Now, it's common that sometimes cherry shrimp do die in aquariums because they get stressed out when you add them to the aquarium, and that's because you haven't acclimated them properly. Since shrimp are so sensitive in the aquariums, a lot of people just do a dunk and drop in like method, so they'll just put the shrimp into a net and just chuck them in the aquarium, and that's not good at all. That stresses out the shrimp a lot, and often you'll get quite a few shrimp dying, if not all your shrimp, and that is a possible reason why they could be dying. I've done this in the past, and I've done it with really expensive shrimp, and it's just a massive loss when you have to spend so much money on the shrimp and then you just lose them like this. So make sure that you guys are drip acclimating your shrimp before you add them, and make sure that you're checking that they are healthy before you buy them, and that'll guarantee that this doesn't happen to you. So the next reason is that your water supply could have chloramine as a disinfectant in it. Now, this is something that a lot of people aren't usually used to, because they don't realize that a lot of water supplies in urban areas are using like chemicals like chloramine to disinfect the water and make it safe for us to drink. Now, these are super toxic to shrimp, especially the little sensitive ones like the crystal reds. And it's important that you guys are using something like Chem Prime, I would recommend. And now this is a disinfect. This is like, we'll get rid of all that chloramine and make the water safe for your shrimp. So make sure you guys are using a dechlorinator. I recommend Chem Prime to prep your water before you add it to the shrimp tank. So the next one is something that you guys are gonna hate yourselves for, and is if you've added copper or lead to your aquarium. Now, these are really easy to add. If you are adding ferts to a planted aquarium with shrimp in there, most of these have copper and lead in there for the plants to grow. And this is a massive mistake, because these are lethal to shrimp, and they will kill off all your shrimp if you've added them to the aquarium. So my piece of advice is, first of all, check the fertilizer you're using on your aquarium. Make sure that it's shrimp safe, and do a bit of research on forums and stuff, and ask about what kind of fertilizers you should use in a shrimp aquarium. Copper and lead are absolutely lethal to shrimp. They are a big no, so don't add copper and lead to the aquarium accidentally. I don't use fertilizers in my aquariums. I'm completely natural, but make sure that you are doing your research before you add any ferts to your aquarium. The next reason is quite simple, and you are just overfeeding your aquarium, and this is causing ammonia spikes and just creating an unsafe environment for the shrimp to live in. Ammonia spikes are really easy to make if you are overfeeding the fish, because there's so many nutrients in the aquarium, and it increases nitrates, ammonia. It's just nasty. So make sure you are not overfeeding the shrimp, and you're doing regular water changes to keep the tank as steady as possible, because if you are creating an unsafe environment and you're creating big spikes in ammonia and nitrates, it will kill the shrimp off. So my next reason is you are having a pH spike. Now, this is common if you are changing the water and you're using a lot of pH up and downs, and I don't recommend this. I said in previous videos, if you are using, well, you've got to pretty much keep shrimp that are suited for your environment. Make sure that you are not trying to change the water parameters in your area and not trying to adjust the pH. Just keep the pH at what it is. And the easiest way to avoid having pH spikes in an aquarium, or like having this issue where you have a pH spike, is to make sure that you are buying shrimp from local breeders, because it's most likely that local breeders will have the same parameters as you for their water, and if they're keeping shrimp successfully, then you shouldn't have a problem. And make sure you ask what they are doing and get as much advice as you can from them. But this is a common reason why shrimp do die, and it's because people are tampering with the water parameters. So the next reason is something that's common to people keeping shrimp in a community aquarium, and it's that you've medicated the fish in the aquarium but the medication has copper or lead or something in there that's nasty, and it's killed off the shrimp. A lot of antibacterials will kill shrimp, so it's important that you do your research before you buy any medication or add any kind of fert or medication to your aquarium to make sure that it's shrimp safe. Go look on the forums. I can't give you all the examples because it'd take way too long, but go and look at some natural remedies to heal fish, or make sure that the medication that you want to add is safe, and then you shouldn't have any issues. So the last reason is that you've added a plant with some chemicals on it and that's killed off the shrimp. So this is quite common. Some people go to a pet store and add a plant, and then the plant has some copper or some nasty stuff on it, and that kills off the shrimp. Make sure you're not making this mistake. It's really easy to make that mistake. I've done it in the past where they will have some sort of like copper on it, and you need to wash the plants before you add them to a shrimp aquarium because they're that sensitive. But make sure that you are the biggest tip, and the thing that I want you guys to all take out of this video, is to make sure you know what you're adding to your aquarium. So do heaps of research before you add any substance to the aquarium, and make sure you're always washing and not adding other people's stuff to your aquarium. Like, don't add other people's water when you're adding fish, and you won't have any problems. So that pretty much wraps up the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, and if there's anything I missed, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.